My name is T. McLeod. I have been in downtown Jonesborough since August of 2021. What brought me to Jonesborough is my wife and I were looking for a sense of community again. I was from an area in North Carolina that I'd spent my entire life, 63 years, that had gone from a town of 1,000 people to now, today, it's well over 100,000 people. And within the next 10 years, it'll be 130,000 people. So the sense of community didn't exist, and it was gone forever. The things that I did value about that area, and that area is Huntersville, North Carolina, it's about 20 miles north of Charlotte, was when I grew up as a child. It did have a sense of community. It used to upset you as you were growing up as a teenager that when you got home, your mom knew exactly what you'd done already that day. But as I became an adult, that became an endearing part of the community, that people, the term that it takes a village to raise a child is exactly correct. My wife and I ran a store in Huntersville. It was a lot larger store than this store was. There we had 3 buildings, and I started this store basically as a agricultural store. I sold soil amendments, fertilizers. I sold organic livestock grains for chickens, horses, and goats. I knew a lot about health, so it transcended into human health. And then the last aspect of that business was a bona fide grocery store there, and I was like a daily farmer's market. But when we came to Northeast Tennessee, we decided that we would slow down somewhat and we would focus in on just one aspect of the business. And we do here the human health and personal care products. I do like to teach classes, and what I like for people to understand is the similarities of the structure of good healthy soil as compared to a good healthy body. Because the minerals in the soil and the minerals of the body, they work basically the same way. And everything that happens in human health for the most part is basically just an out of balance of the minerals that are contained within our bodies. And Wendell Berry, in his short story, The Wild Birds, makes a statement, a poetic statement that goes like this. It's like this: we're members of each other. Everything and everybody. It's not a matter of who is and who isn't. It's a matter of who knows and who doesn't. And I think that's the success of a community, is for people to really truly understand the symbiotic relationship with everything in a community. And it goes beyond just the inhabitants. It goes just beyond the people who live here. It's everything that's in that community. It's the respect of farmland. It's the respect of small businesses. It's the respect of nonprofits and what they mean to everybody's life in a whole. And if everybody goes about understanding that nobody's important as the next person, then you can have a very successful community, and everybody's hearts will be thrilled to be here. When we first arrived here, my wife and I felt like we were on a movie set. You know, we felt like we were part of the Truman Show, and people were actually filming a movie about our lives that we didn't even know that they were filming. We have waited for that feeling to die, and to be honest with you, it hasn't died. I mean, it just has stayed in place. So that tells us that we made a right decision, that Jonesborough is where we're supposed to be, and we just look forward to spending our days here. Matter of fact, we found out after we moved here that my wife's great-great-grandmother actually grew up on College Street. Her great-grandmother and her sister actually married my wife's great-grandfather and his brother, who were from Castlewood, Virginia. And so it's just amazing how when you get there into a town and you start to live, how small the world actually gets. I would consider myself a Jonesboroughian, but the question is, do the Jonesboroughians consider me one? I would love to think so. I know that it takes a while to be embraced and to be trusted into a community, I'm fighting for that. I hope people can see my heart, and know that I'm for the best for Jonesborough. For me, what it means to be here is to be in a simple town in a complex world. And I think that's probably, some people would hear that and say that's an insult to think that a town can be simple. When I first moved here and I would call people back home, they said, "What, did you move to Mayberry or something?" To me, that's a compliment, because it instills the family values that I grew up with, that I've always appreciated, that has disappeared for the main part throughout our society. And so, to me, to walk these streets and to be a simple man in a complex world is the best statement that I could possibly make. To me, that's what simplicity is, that an area hasn't allowed the world to change it. Instead of the world being what the world wants you to be what the world needs you to be. And what the world needs you to be is more simple-minded, to where you really care for one another, where you really love the town you grow up in, and you would die for the town that you are living in. To me, the future is, as this town does grow, as it does expand, that it becomes sort of like an amoeba. It can stretch, it can change its shape a little bit, but it's still recognizable as the organism that it is.